Well, for me, it's a measurement of five things. We got fatherhood. We got being a good husband. We got my health, mind, body, and spirit. We got career, and we got friendships. These are what's important to me in my life right now. Because I want to keep all five in healthy shape. And I know that if I don't take care of them, if I don't keep up maintenance on them, one of them is going to get weak, man. It's going to dip too deep into the debit section. It's going to go bankrupt. It's going to get sick, die even. So first, we have to define success for ourselves. And then we have to put in the work to maintain it. Take that daily tally. Tend our garden. Keep the things that are important to us in good shape. Defining ourselves by what we are not is the first step that leads us to really knowing who we are.
For a long time, I think I was living two totally different lives, where one person was always afraid of the other. I was afraid that people would see me for who I really was, that I wasn't the perfect popular kid in high school everyone thought I was, that beneath my smile there was struggle, and beneath my light there was dark, and beneath my big personality just hid even bigger pain. See, some people might fear girls not liking them back, some people might fear sharks, some people might fear death, but for me, for a large part of my life, I feared myself.
Talk about basically. I'm going to start with a poem that I wrote when I wasn't very happy. I actually wrote this a year ago, but again, as if you know depression, it comes back. It's a reoccurring thing that you can't really swat away. Anyway, who am I? Who am I trying to be? Not myself, anyone but myself. Living in a fantasy to bury the reality, making myself the mystery, a strong facade disguising the misery. Empty but beyond the point of emptiness, full to the brim of fake confidence, a guard that will never be broken because I broke a long time ago. I'm hurting but don't tell anyone, no one needs to know. Don't show all you've failed, always okay, always fine, always on show. The show must go on, it will never stop. The show must not go on, but I know it will. I give up giving up, I am lost. I don't need to be saved, I need to be found. Basically, it's kind of just the same reoccurring thing of, not knowing who you are
But yeah, when people ask me how I'm doing, I say I'm fine generally. I think that's what everybody does. But for me, that's not a real appropriate answer either, because for me, it's a way of deflecting the question. It's like a reflex. And deflecting that question is something I've got really good at, because a lot of the time I'm not fine. In fact, I live with depression. And deflecting people away from what's really going on with me is just what I do. When you get really convincing at pretending that you're okay, people just assume you are. Much like a lot of you thought there was nothing wrong with me when I first came out here. None of my friends, family, anybody knew anything was wrong with me until maybe a year and a half ago, when I decided to tell them. I'd been secretly living with dark thoughts and self-loathing for, most of my adult life. And saying I'm fine and not addressing it and not letting anybody in is just a bad move, And the things that have happened to me over the last year, the more I've sort of realized that it's like putting a plaster over cancer. You're not dealing with anything. Last April was the worst time for me. I was living with a feeling I can't even describe. I still can't. I have to now, obviously. But if I was to choose one word, it would be something like overwhelm.
For a long time in my life, I felt like I've been living two different lives. There's the life that everyone sees, and then there's the life that only I see. And in the life that everyone sees, who I am is a friend, a son, a brother, a stand-up comedian, and a teenager. That's the life everyone sees. If you were asked my friends and family to describe me, that's what they would tell you. And that's a huge part of me. That is who I am. And if you're asked me to describe myself, I'd probably say some of those same things. And I wouldn't be lying but I wouldn't totally be telling you the truth either. Because the truth is, that's just the life everyone else sees.